Morning, everyone. Hola. Hola, amigo. Where's everyone from? I'm in Canada. My lineage is from Ireland, though, like pickles. As Granny would used to say, top of the morning, do ya? Morning, Johnny. Trigger warning. I'm gonna make a Nightbot command for trigger warning. Yeah. I'm on the West Coast, yes, Mike, in British Columbia. Good eye. Good eye, my dude. Not Vancouver, but British Columbia. One of the nicer places. Nicer than Vancouver, I should say. Vancouver is nice, but yeah. Today's a short stream as I'm recording today. I have to push up my recording schedule one day this week because we released the February schedule and we've got a lot of cool stuff going on. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, hit !February in the chat and you'll see the February schedule just got posted up this morning, fresh. It's still out of the oven. It's just still steaming. Literally hit post before I hit go live. So it's definitely, yeah. You wouldn't want to live in Vancouver. So I visited Vancouver 2 years ago and it's beautiful, but it's too big for me. So I'm in Kelowna. Population is 200,000. So it's one of the largest cities in all of British Columbia. And yeah, it's kind of perfect here. It's like paradise. Kelowna is known as one of the most beautiful places in Canada. And yeah, it's beautiful here. Sick of the big city. Yeah, I'm sick of the big city too, man. Except the big city that I was from wasn't very nice. But yeah, big city life is nice. It's exciting. But that's why I chose to live in Kelowna, because you know what? There's I guess I can explain it a bit. Kelowna is one of the hottest destination spots in all of Canada. So what happens is in our summer times, they call it Kelownafornia. It's like kind of like California, right? They call it Kelownafornia because in summer times it's like the place to be. So 200K population. In summer, it triples to about 500 or 600K people because everybody comes here. They have, sometimes they host the Olympics here. Sometimes they have film festivals here. There's concerts that happen in Kelowna. It's called Kelownafornia because it's basically one of the nicest spots in Canada to visit. So you can almost think of it like if you've ever seen the show Ozarks, right? Like it's this beautiful, beautiful place. And then, you know, in the summertime, it just explodes with excitement. There's yachts everywhere, boats, supercars. We've got racetracks here. There's like famous Formula One racetracks. There's tons of movie stars that live here. There's tons of like athletes that live here. It's a really, really, really cool place. So that's why I chose this over Vancouver. But yeah, I wouldn't want to live in a big city either. It's too much of a grind, right? Like too much of a daily grind. I'd love to visit Kelowna one day if they ever let us travel again. View of the Okanagan Lake. Yep. Or the Okanagan Lake. Yep, that is a view of the Okanagan Lake. Exactly. So you know Kelowna, so I don't have to explain it to you. But yeah, that's good old Okanagan Lake right there. Okanagan and then West Kelowna is what you see in the video because I'm in Kelowna, not West Kelowna. West Kelowna is kind of like the side that there's Kelowna and there's West Kelowna. There's two Kelownas. West Kelowna is like built much after. You want to be in Kelowna, not West Kelowna. West Kelowna is like more economic friendly. Best way to put it without being too harsh. Let's move on. Taxes aren't that bad in Canada. What kind of taxes? Taxes a broad statement. How are the taxes in Canada? That's a broad statement. I guess it depends what kind of taxes you're referring to. Corporate taxes, personal taxes, house taxes, government taxes, goods and service taxes, federal taxes. I suppose it depends what you mean by taxes. Who am I? And where you live changes. Like where I used to live, the housing taxes were astronomically high. Now in BC, they're not so bad. So housing taxes, not bad. Kind of depends on the tax that you're talking about, I suppose. Relative to the lifestyle, I think Canada's a pretty nice place and pretty peaceful and safe here. So I mean, you pay for that freedom, right, through taxes. Taxes for everything, yeah. So yesterday we left off Bitcoin. We left off thinking like, okay, there's not really too much we'd be looking for trades because Bitcoin's kind of in more of like a settlement area. Like that was kind of the tone of yesterday. We left off saying like, okay, well, you know, Bitcoin is just gonna maybe either move sideways. We're not looking too much for a long or a short because we really want to see what trend it's going to break. So it pretty much followed exactly kind of our hypothesis or what we had figured it would follow yesterday. Basically kind of just very slow moving, not really sure because the outcome on either side of Bitcoin right now, again, it's not decided, right? Like you have both sides of this thing laddering. So, you know, right now you have the top was hit, it's laddered here, it's laddered here. This ladder was broken to re-ladder here. So you've got your first, second, and third ladder here. Same exact things happen on the side, laddered here to here to here. This ladder got broken here, just like this one. So it's kind of like equalized its position, right? To break back this ladder as well, right here. So you've got one ladder here, you've got your next ladder here, you've got your next one here. So it's actually almost kind of like a mirror on both sides. So really, there's no. If I had, like I've been saying this for a while, it looks like Bitcoin is moving up, and as much as I don't want to see it, it does look like Bitcoin is going to have another push up, unless something stops it up here and inside of this range, and it kind of ladders off of this range, which this is just starting to set up the attack too. So for this reason, like we can't see what's happening with Bitcoin yet. We simply just can't see. Again, it's the same stance as yesterday. We can't see what's happening with Bitcoin. We do think it's going up a bit. There's no trades that exist, despite our opinion of it's going up or down. It won't matter because there's no trades that exist here that make sense at this point anyways. 1 second. Excuse me, I got something in my throat here. Jesus. So kind of the same stance as we had yesterday, right? Like it's we don't know which side it's going to break yet. We have to kind of see how these trends are going to act and which trend breaks first. And there's no real trade that exists. Like I guess you could have taken a trade here yesterday on trend. Well, we did say that you could take a trade on trend here. So to be fair, you rewind this back yesterday or 2 days ago or whatever, and we did say you could take this trade on trend, and we haven't seen it back test that trend again. Yeah, so really, you know, maybe you're looking for shorts if it breaks this local trend here. I don't think you'd be looking for a long if you break this trend. I think if you were long, you'd already be in a long from back here, and you would be exiting this trade upon this trend break. If you were in a long, you'd be closing your contract and profits on this trend break. So there's no real longs, in my opinion, that can exist here because they're all a little too high risk. Really, we're waiting to see if this thing is breaking up, which it kind of looks like it is in one way, but in another way, it could easily break down too. So the sentiment that we had yesterday was that we're not really taking any trades. And this thing looks like it's going to move sideways a little bit to try to figure out which trend it's going to break. It's most likely going to come in and around this area, if I had to guess. Like it's going to kind of do something like this before it decides, and then it's going to either go up or it's going to go down, and it's going to break one of these two sides. So yeah, Bitcoin's been pretty boring for the past day. There hasn't been really anything going on because it's just kind of exactly what we assumed, right? Like there's nothing to really trade here right now because we're in the middle of two ranges. So if we get shown a moment now, there's another thing that could happen, another possibility. We could be shown a final moment here or here in this trade, which we'll be keeping our eyes open for. Well, I will be anyways, to take a trade. If there is a final moment shown that's going to show, oh, it hit a certain level in here and it's going to break this trend, then we will be taking that short up there. So yeah, there's nothing, no new updates on Bitcoin. It's actually moving very slow, very methodical, exactly how it's supposed to. More than 160 different taxes in your country. Capital gains. So my understanding is once you sell for profits, it's taxable. Yep, that's correct, Mike. We have capital gains. Yeah, you can, Zephyr, for sure you can. There's lots of profits to be made scalping here, for sure. Yeah, I think if you're scalp trading, like you're daily trading, then yeah, you're absolutely going to be taking those scalp positions for sure. I talk about it on stream often, all in it. I just don't think it's as valuable as people think it is. Sort of got to do this speech every day. Gotta make a video on it that I can just reference. People just point to it. That's the video right there. My opinion is on Bitcoin. I'll just get flamed out of my mind if I put that on a video. Like it'll just yonk my analytics because everybody wants to see Bitcoin succeed. Top of the morning. Top of the morning to you, tuna melt. Put the coffee down and grab the whiskey. My grandma used to have a sign. She was very Irish. Her house would be filled with these kind of tchotchkes, these Irish tchotchkes. And, you know, so she had this little wooden sign above our breakfast table, little tiny breakfast nook. Something I, God, yeah, I was so little. But I think it's something along the lines of drop the coffee and grab the whiskey. It's breakfast time. She had all these little Irish tchotchkes in her house, and they were everywhere. Tarot cards and just, yeah, like it was the Irish experience. Let me tell you that. My grandma was great. I loved her. She was 6'6", big woman, huge, like tall, thin, and built like a Viking. Well, that's, yeah, she was just this big woman. And my grandpa, he was tiny. He was like 5'2". I'm 6'2", and he was like 5'2", just a little wee guy. We call him Gump. Yeah. Lucky Charms had all sorts of stuff, all sorts of like different Celtic little tchotchkes all over the place, little dolls and tarot cards and cigarettes everywhere and whiskey bottles. It was just like your typical, like if you guys have seen Ray Donovan, it's like your typical like Irish family. It was like a stout Irish. Trying to remember what else she had. God. Playing cards, poker. What else was there? Always the little candies. She had candies everywhere. These little Irish mints, these little cheap little candies, but they were great. I love them. What's going on with GME? You guys are flagging out GME here. Yeah, I mean, isn't this what was supposed to happen with GME? Like, can't we just see a very simple trend right here that just doesn't get broken? Like, isn't this the final short in the move where this trend gets hit and it can't break? Once this trend doesn't break, this thing is gone, right? Like, I don't know. People just can you do a good Irish accent? Yeah. Not on spot, it just comes out. Sometimes I'll be talking, me and my wife will be having a conversation, and sometimes I'll just, like, I guess the Irish tongue, or the, not, like, I don't speak Gaelic, right? Like, I don't speak the Irish language. I think it's Gaelic is the main language in Ireland. I don't speak Gaelic, but sometimes when I'm talking, and if I get really passionate about something, my accent changes to Irish because it's just like from childhood, right? So Sometimes I just start sounding Irish and she's like, oh, it's happening. Like, oh, oops. Yeah, but I mean, GME, right? Like, isn't this like, this is always what happens? Like, this is it. This is why people, I try to warn people about this stuff, like about subreddits and you know, Wall Street bets and this crap, and nobody, like, well, I don't want to say nobody listens. Obviously you guys listen. People outside of my primary audience don't listen and just think I'm full of crap. But it's just like, man, if you guys only knew millions of dollars that I've chewed through in my life in trading, is like, yeah, not in a bad way chewed through, but like, yeah, I've been doing this a long time. This is just very, very straightforward stuff. Like, it's not anything new. So yeah, I feel bad for people in GME, but in a way I don't, because people expecting to make money on Wall Street bets on a subreddit, it's kind of insulting to somebody like me who spends their lifetime in their career reverse engineering this stuff so that people have a fighting chance. Like, I'm different from other YouTubers in the way that, because me and my wife, we have this conversation. It's like, okay, how do we make YouTube grow? And it's like, well, I want it to grow, yes, but I don't want to get so far away from what I'm doing that it's not true to what I do. Because like, I've spent a lifetime, this is like my life's work, engineering this stuff, right? So in a way, stuff like Wall Street bets, pretty insulting to me, because it's like almost as if all the technical analysis out there, all the hard work, all the science that's behind this, the real truth in these markets doesn't exist. And people are so foolish to follow Wall Street bets. It's insulting, because it's like, well, there's people like me out there who are engineering this stuff and trying to give people a career. Like, that's where my channel is different. Like, I'm not, sure, I'm a funny guy. I could go and make funny YouTube videos and get 1 million views. Like, my wife showed me a video yesterday about a guy reacting to useless things that rich people buy. And I'm like, I could easily do that. I'm funny. I could do good commentary. I do it all the time. No problem. And I'm really good with video editing. So I could go and do snap cuts and this and that. But then it's like, well, that's not really what my channel's about. I'm trying to help people build careers. So my channel is literally, you know, ground zero to help people build careers. And then so when I see something like Wall Street bets, and I try to warn people, and there's a lot of people who I get in my YouTube comments who are like, that's crap, Wall Street bets is running it, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, you guys are so clueless, you have no idea. So yeah, stuff like Wall Street bets, slightly insulting, but not overly. I guess what's more the pincher for me, like the thing that squeezes me, is that it's like people think it's just so easy to just wake up and click buttons and make money. Like, I like to think I'm a fairly smart guy. I've mastered almost everything I've touched in life. And there's things I am bad at, but I've mastered a lot in life. And this is what I chose to devote to. So I like to think I'm decently intelligent enough to make these decisions. And, you know, I've spent my lifetime, and now I'm giving it to the world, because I want other people who take this world seriously to have the kind of rewards that I've had, right? So yeah, stuff like Wall Street bets, a little insulting, but again, it's not just the site, it's the people that make it popular, because it's just collusion what happens on Wall Street bets. It's just, this trade was so easy to see, and then all you have to do is let it mature a bit, and if it stays in accumulation, like here's my thing with this trade, okay? Let me ask you guys a question. Let's rewind Wall Street bets to this moment here. Do you guys think that GME would have pumped, okay, if this didn't break trend back in August? Say GME was still free falling and back here. Do you think Wall Street bets could have had any ability to pump this thing, or would they have taken that risk? No, that whoever was coordinating this thing simply would have just exited their trade here. Or even if they were up here, if they didn't get down here, this is like, fine, institutional money maybe, and then people like Wall Street bets, if that is indeed, if it's not institutional money, just, you know, fabricating, coordinating it all, if that's not WSB at the higher level here, just pulling the strings for the monkeys on the Reddit, if that's not them here, is it just Wall Street bets up here? Would this thing have pumped, and would it have gotten squeezed had it not broken its trend? So it's like, they don't have any skin in the game that's at any risk once this thing is already over trend, because this thing is already moving once it's over trend, just like it's already moving here. So like, that would be my question. Does this same coup or collusion, it is collusion. In my opinion, this is like quote unquote collusion. Whether I'm right or wrong is another thing. I would consider this collusion, like using propaganda to further get all these people to collude to self-profit, right? Like, would this thing have even done this, GME thing even done this, if this didn't break trend? So then it's just like, just the suckers are buying, and then they're profiteering off suckers. So it's just like, it's those kind of people, because you know what, it's just like, they don't realize how serious this game is. People need to wake up. And again, not you guys. My audience is smart. You guys are sharp cookies. You're here for a reason because you know the truth. But it's like, would this thing have even pumped if that happened, right? Like, do people really think that the billions of dollars, the trillions of dollars that are controlling the world are just so stupid that a subreddit could pump it? Like, it's just kind of foolish. It really triggers me. Mac already trigger warning the chat, so that's your daily trigger warning, right? So it's just like, yeah, let's check AMC. Somebody else mentioned AMC. Another one is just like, what are you guys even on about with AMC? Like, trade's already gone. Like, let's find the trend. The trend breaks, the trade's gone. Ah, the local trend, man, it's mindless. It's just like, it's right here. It's accumulation to accumulation candle. It's literally right here. I don't even, come on, snap to it. It's literally right there where this thing starts. Are we on the right time frame? Where's the monthly? Right there. Monthly time frame. Right there it is, guys. Accumulation to accumulation. It cannot get any simpler than this. Accumulation to accumulation. Test it once, breaks the move. Why is this like a thing? Why are people so blindsided by these moves? Like, it's so straightforward. But the fact that people are like, oh, you know, Wall Street bets 2021, this is it. We're in this finally. The young people are taking over. We've had enough. It's government reform. Bitcoin's going to run the world. Government reform, Wall Street bets. It's just like so. It's so muddled. It's the quality of thinking is so muddled. It's just like, where are you guys even coming up with these ideas? I see sometimes. So that's my trigger warning for the day. I don't get it, man. I don't get why people. But again, it's the people who just think it's like, oh, let's go buy Bitcoin and reform against the governments and join Wall Street bets and trade on Reddit. We're in this. Dogecoin to the moon. Like, these things already happened, guys. Like, people buying Dogecoin at 4 cents. Today it's at 3 cents. It's like, why weren't you guys buying at like a tenth of a cent before this thing broke out? You don't need Wall Street bets to see this stuff. You don't need Reddit. You don't need that stuff. You can make, literally can make $100,000 a week if you know what you're doing with almost no risk. Like, it's just, oh man, trigger alert is right. Shut the stream down now. That one triggered me good. Surprised my Irish accent didn't come out on that one, talking about getting passionate about things. Okay, let's catch up on chat. I'm sure it's popping off now. Anthony, you get the Let's Trigger Cotton award for the day. I'm going to put a Nightbot command for that word. Put some trophies in the chat. Anthony gets the You Triggered Cotton award for the day. Mike, you said it so many. It's so funny, dude. We're so aligned in our thought process. So many noobs following Wall Street bets, losing money because they have no idea what they're doing. Yeah, it's just like so crazy. You've seen people on Wall Street bets blow 100K. Yeah, well, it's collusion. There's like bigger traders who are controlling. Like, my theory is, and I'm not usually wrong about these things, and now I don't have any, like, it's just a theory, right? Because it's just what I think is happening. But I have seen things very similar with such striking resemblances. It's not even funny in my time. Don't forget, I've worked for funds. I've worked for different things. I've advised behind the scenes on a lot of different stuff in the financial world. So what I think it is Wall Street bets is just a pony dog for something else. But just my crazy brain doing crazy theories. So don't pay any attention to it. Strange for an exchange not wanting to make transaction fees. Yep. I think Cotton is the only one who has the right reporting. You would be amazed, Mike, how many people like tear me apart in the YouTube comments that I don't post, saying I'm crazy, I'm out of my mind. It's just all crap that I say, and I have no clue what I'm doing. All the reporters believe the story that some subreddit can take down Wall Street. It's so insane to think that. Wouldn't like the SEC or the Treasury step in and just call it a national security threat like they've done for the past 20 years? Wouldn't they just say, oh, this is collusion, you're not allowed to keep the money, if it were indeed collusion that's not coordinated by somebody higher up? Isn't that what they always do? Isn't, like, this is not a new story. This stuff has been happening forever. It's just what people see is another thing. Glad to catch a live stream for once. Hey Ross, what's up, dude? Glad to have you here, man. Skeptical of people that treat Bitcoin as a religion. Yeah, I don't think Bitcoin is the savior of the world like people think it is. It's not going to be a national currency any day. I agree, and it's a legal pump and dump scheme. Yeah, it's collusion. I would be amazed if this guy who like coordinated it, that's on the news, if that's who's even behind it, which is even questionable there, if he even gets to keep his money. You saw someone take a student loan on GME all because of a subreddit. Like, it's just so crazy. Again, it's insulting to somebody like me, who spent their lifetime reverse engineering this stuff and can prove it. Like, you guys see me, you guys ask me to do a coin. You say, chart this, and I chart it, and it's like, well, there's the breakout. Or I pick like to the cent the price. So like there's a real science here. So again, I've committed my life to this stuff. So sometimes that stuff is like a little insulting. Keep it quality over quantity. Yeah, man, I agree. I agree completely. I find this a little naive. Options trading, first thing. Yep. Redistribution of wealth via free market was interesting to see, though. Props are doing that. Yeah, I think I would need to dissect that comment a little bit further to understand, maybe. One of us has 32 million in BTC and none of us can get our money or crypto. That's not a lot of BTC actually for a group. 32 million is a fairly small amount. Yeah, you know, there's a lot that happens behind the scenes, CJL. Not always bad, sometimes good. Sometimes, like, when money gets locked up like that, it's for reasons beyond Coinbase's. Sometimes there's legal reasons where communication is not allowed to happen. So I've seen that. So I wouldn't jump to too many conclusions about money being locked up, rather than to just say, like, well, this is the risk that you take in a cryptocurrency market where it's unregulated. It's not like you have the guarantees and safety of bank insurance, and a company like Coinbase probably just acting within their legal means of what they're allowed to say or not say, or whatnot. I wouldn't jump to any conclusions. Like, one of you guys has 32 million in Bitcoin and none of us can get your crypto money out. Sometimes it's not so straightforward, especially in an unregulated market with securities and stuff like that, who have a very, very firm hand on it. Drive Wealth has stopped buys on AMC and GME. That's crazy. Doge to $1. Yeah. Morning, Austin. Check XLM, sure. Find a lot of coins follow BTC. Yeah, everything follows BTC. Any thought about banned coin? What's banned? I would focus on the education first. Morning, Jelly. So what did you guys ask? XLM. Let's check XLM. Check XLM Tether. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd be taking any trades on XLM. And maybe a short if it breaks up, but I don't think I'd be looking to take anything else. So I'm just trying to break it at the top of its range. It kind of already did. Yeah, you see, the problem with XLM is it's already so high in its range. Like, if you were playing XLM, you would have been somewhere down before it breaks out, obviously, and you would have already taken your profits. Can it break out again? Yes, for sure. Is there a smart long here? I don't know. ETH have a breakout soon? I don't know, man. It all depends on Bitcoin. You should say, like, will Bitcoin have a breakout soon? Not ETH. ETH follows Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, the problem with XLM is just the amount of risk you take to buy this thing long right now. Tether and USD are the same thing. It's just it's the same thing all in it. I just use Tether because it's on Binance. I think everybody uses Tether in crypto. Like I don't really know anybody who's charting in USD. Although it would be fine. It would be the same thing. Like if you want XLM USD, it would be the same thing. It's just Coinbase's reflection of the price versus Binance. I use Tether because it's on Binance. Like, what do you do with XLM? You wouldn't be taking a long here. You would have already been getting out of a long. You have a big bag in Rune? Oh boy. Coinbase doesn't support Tether. Yeah, the bigger exchanges do, like Binance. Binance is the biggest trading exchange for sure. Actually, I don't know if Binance is bigger than Coinbase, is it? I'm pretty sure Binance is the number one. I'm pretty sure Binance is. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, for sure it is. Yeah, for sure it is. Why am I even asking? Yeah, for sure Binance is. Coinbase is like peanuts compared to Binance. Appreciate that. I read all chats. I'm not going to be able to every day in the future. I'm sure this thing will grow big enough that I won't always be able to read all of chat, but for now I am anyways. Find that Binance has better support for altcoins over Coinbase. Yeah, I mean, in the past when Coinbase added a coin, it would like explode, right? Like I don't know if for people who have been around long enough, like they added Bitcoin Cash back in the day, and Bitcoin Cash exploded to like $4,000 a coin or 10,000 or something stupid. Before Bitcoin Cash had the big split to ABC and SV, this was way back like 2017 or something like that. I remember, you know, they would add a coin and the coin would just like explode and it would go up like ridiculous amounts of money. So yeah, in the past, Coinbase was the kind of the king of the space, but Binance now is just there's nobody that beats Binance. Coinbase fees are higher than Binance? Yeah, probably. I always read chat, and that's why I always get triggered. Javier, I'm not sure. You have to look into that on your own. I'm not too sure about leverage trading in the US. So yeah, I'm still a little perplexed at what to do with XLM because you can't really take a long right now in XLM. It doesn't exist. The risk is too high. If Bitcoin falls, this thing's going to dump. If XLM is going to pump, like how much are you expecting to make, right? Like say if XLM goes to 70 cents, right? Say XLM goes to 70 cents. What do you make? 130%? Well, if you were long from here, you'd be at like 800%. So the difference in taking profits here is like a 500% profit difference. So I mean, for me, I would just simply not be touching XLM. It's just in kind of one of those spots right now where the risk is high. Sure, the payoff is great if it pumps, but you'd see a better return of profits if you were in from such a lower price, right? Like you'd see such a better return of profits. When a coin makes a new all-time high, is there a way to know where it'll stop? Yes, Nazim. Absolutely. Yeah, XLM though, I can't say this would be a smart trade. I would be looking for a short, but I wouldn't be looking for a short yet. I would just be waiting. I would be waiting for a more crucial level to get hit. I'd be waiting for a top to be formed because this could pump if Bitcoin pumps again. This could pump, right? So I would kind of just wait with this. Somebody asked about something else. Rune? Is this crypto? Exact same sentiment. I would just like not touch this. Or if you're in a trade, like I would personally, if I was trading this, I would personally take profits here, depending on where I bought. But yeah. Why everything pumped at once in 2017? When in 2017? What are you talking about? 2017? Back here? You talking about this? It's a couple moments in 2017 when everything pumped. It was just, I mean, this thing was an accumulation forever, right? Check EOS. Absolutely, Mark. You can trade time frames less than 15 minutes. Great fundamentals in Rune for the long run. Thor chain, isn't that, so Rune is like what, Ven or Vet? Thor? Isn't that Thor? Isn't that Ven or Vet's thing? January 2017? Yeah, I mean, this thing was just an accumulation, right? Just long-term accumulation had its breakout. Somebody asked about another coin. Starts with an A. I thought I saw something in there, but with an A in it. Band. That's what it was. Band. Is that the one we just looked at? No, band. Same thing with all these coins, guys. They're at a very, very high part of the range right now. If you guys are thinking about longing, do it if you believe in the project, but you know, the risk you take is pretty high. Imagine buying down here, seeing this thing go up 5,000%, and then buying today where getting back to that 5,000% mark is less than 100%. Like there's a lot of risk in a lot of these right now. So I'd be careful. There's a lot of markets to trade. You don't have to force it in crypto if things are not exactly in good spots to buy, right? So I would just be careful with like all of these buys. Thanks, Austin. Thanks so much, man. Always dropping the donations, dude. Thank you so much, man. And John, thank you so much, guys. Thank you a ton. Check EOS. Well, it's probably going to be the same thing. EOS is probably going to be another one. We did EOS last week, right? Yeah, I think we did EOS last week. I think we were looking at this last week. EOS looks like it might try to have a breakup. Possible. $10.01, dude. Thank you so much. Thanks so much, guys. Tell you how what the donation war going on. Don't let me interfere. I'm just kidding. Explain which one, the 2017 January, like explain that. Is that what you guys are saying? You guys are funny. I think that's what you guys are saying by explain it, maybe. Yeah, I mean, this thing just sat in accumulation. Like it's nothing special here. It just sits in accumulation, right? Makes trend here. Oops. Makes its next trend here and just sits in accumulation. It just very simply has a trend that's making a fall, right? Just flip the chart over, or breaks its range here, breaks its range here, just simply held an uptrend, simply laddered up to break its ranges. Just very, very straightforward. There's no like hidden stuff here. This is about as ABC as it gets, even from higher time frames. You would have been like this on the highest time frame, and then you're just simply holding the move over time, right? You can see it back testing trends here. It's holding on the larger time frame. Just very, very, very straightforward. Which is nothing that really needs to be explained with Bitcoin. This is a very, very old story. Broke over its range, held its trend, moved up, right? What do I think of Cardano? Not much. It's probably the same as everything else. All the altcoins pumped after BTC dumped. What, in January? And well, like just go to Ethereum. Ethereum, Coinbase, maybe? Where do you see where they pumped, where Bitcoin dumped? I'll just bring up Ethereum because this is like, I don't see where they're pumping when Bitcoin dumped. Looks like the same exact chart to me, Ethereum and Bitcoin. Isn't this like literally the exact same chart? Or we go to a weekly time frame on both, isn't this like the exact same chart? I don't see where this is pumping when something's dumping. Pumped after, yeah, I don't see any altcoins up. I don't see that. If you guys are talking about like BTC slash whatever, that's not realistic. They have a dollar value and that's it. You're comparing them to Bitcoin, that doesn't really do anything. I'm sure there's the odd coin that has a breakup, but I don't really like what else was around back here. Was Ethereum Classic? Well, Ethereum Classic would have been back around here too, right? Like, no, it's not long enough. What are we looking at? 2017 Bitcoin Cash. Is this even like 2018? Because that's when Coinbase added it. And that was the day that it pumped to like 4K. What else would have been on Coinbase or some of these? I guess we'd have to look at MEX, right? We'd have to look at BitMEX. So we'd have to go like, what about Monero? Monero would have been around back then. Monero USD on BitMEX. Was Monero on MEX? Yeah, it was. XMR. Why can't I see this on MEX? BitREX. Was Monero not on there? Well, Cardano ADA would have been, wouldn't it have? Well, there's MEX right there. What coins were on MEX back when this was happening? I only ever trade Bitcoin, so there's Binance. How come these things aren't on MEX? I'm looking for things that were like, that's why I was looking at Coinbase, because it was like, okay, well, Coinbase, right? Like ADA maybe. We don't want to see Binance though. I want to see like Coinbase or, but I don't know when these things are added to these exchanges. So maybe you guys have to, 2017. Here we go. This is 2017, but it's like right at the beginning of 2000, right at the end of 2017. This is the same thing, right? Like, didn't this just pump? And then when Bitcoin fell, this fell. Like, I'm looking at the left and right side. Bitcoin has a move up. Cardano has its move up. This goes down, stabilizes, moves up with Bitcoin. Very straightforward. What else would have been around then? XLM USD? Well, that's what I thought, but didn't I just check this and it wasn't around? Oh, yeah, 2018. I'm looking for stuff that's 2017. That's why. Tron. Oh, yeah, Tron. I forgot about Tron. Tron would have been there. Tron has been around forever. Tron USDT. God, there's so many exchanges now. Binance. Well, first we'll start with Binance. Was this 2017? No. Okay. TRX USD. So where would this have been in 2017? Where would this have? What exchange would this have been on Tron? God. Because I'm just looking at things that would have been around 2017. That's why I picked Ethereum, because it's like, well, Ethereum would have been there. Bitcoin Cash would have been there. But BCH, we already... BCH, actually, we didn't find BCH. Coinbase BCH? No, we did that one already. So this is kind of 2017 at the very end. So we can kind of use this. Like, this also fell with Bitcoin. You can see the cursor on the left side, right? This also fell. Now, things don't pump when Bitcoin dumps. I don't know why people think that. Could have been the perp contracts that expired. Or tokens that they've taken off their exchange or they no longer support. Bitfinex, Kraken, Bitstamp, BitMEX. So this was here. But this is like recent, right? Yeah. Wait, didn't Bitcoin Cash used to have a different name before BCH? Didn't it change names? There might be a legacy ticker, just like there is with Bitcoin, like how Bitcoin has XBT. Oh, I bet you there's a legacy ticker, and that's why I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I bet you there's a legacy ticker on Bitcoin Cash. Like XBT is the legacy ticker for Bitcoin. Like this is Bitcoin's legacy ticker back in the day, right? Like this was their legacy ticker. Yeah, and TradingView has ditched the chart. Damn. Best trading platform for all types of trades, probably Binance. Yeah, I don't know where people are seeing though that altcoins are pumping when Bitcoin is dumping. I'm sure there's the odd coin that has a breakout, but I don't think long term. Man, what else has been around? Like Ethereum Classic, I want to think maybe, but Ethereum Classic is that's not going to be. I mean, this was definitely not going to be on Coinbase because this was added to Coinbase much after. Maybe Bitfinex. Yeah, Bitfinex. Here you go. Here's another coin. So Bitcoin's already in its move up, right? Bitcoin is still moving up here. It reaches its kind of all-time highs, and then it dumps with Bitcoin. You can see the left and the right as I'm scrolling through. Dumps with Bitcoin. Bitcoin starts to move up. It takes its move up again, right? Bitcoin dumps. It starts to dump, right? Bitcoin stabilizes, takes another move up. It takes its move up. It dumps when Bitcoin dumps. Here's Ethereum Classic. There is no, that doesn't work like that. The markets, crypto and the crypto markets all follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin were to go to like $1,000, everything would be like either gone or, well, they wouldn't be gone. It would just be at such a low price. You've never seen a price like that low before. Litecoin, good one, LXSO. I didn't even think of Litecoin. L5T, LTC USD. That's a great one. Litecoin has been around forever. I believe it's been around forever on Coinbase too. Like this is an OG coin. Yeah, here you go. So let's just follow the left and right of the screen, right? Bitcoin starts pumping, Litecoin starts pumping, Bitcoin's moving up, Litecoin moves up, Bitcoin has its 3-week pullback, Litecoin has its 3-week pullback, Bitcoin's pumping up again to reach its all-time high, Litecoin reaches its all-time high, Bitcoin starts to dump, this starts to dump. Like it's literally the exact same chart we're looking at. Bitcoin pumps, Bitcoin dumps, Litecoin dumps, Bitcoin pumps, Litecoin pumps. I kind of feel like I'm a bit of a broken record right now, but there are no, like, I don't know why people think that these coins are breaking away from Bitcoin. They don't. It's not the way it works. Bitcoin controls the entire market. There, like I said, there might be the odd coin that has a fluctuation in it, but it's like very, very rare. Again, thanks for the donations, guys. Much appreciated. I set take profits and stop losses, Edwin. It's a good question about like Bitcoin following and altcoins following. I get asked that question a lot. Like, oh, what about the deviation? Doesn't exist. That's like fundamentalists trying to make more Bitcoin because things have BTC pairings that move up against the hedged value of the dollar, which is like kind of silly. Take profits on futures as a market order. So you can do both, market or limit, but yeah, market order is definitely the way to go. I talked about it a bit earlier in the stream, AJ. Just go take a look at the replay. Yeah, you're going to save yourself fees with limit. I mean, I guess it depends like how you want to take profits on the trade. If you want to do it like market order would be suitable for a huge play because you just want to make sure that you're getting out of the position. a limit order can get skipped in very extreme scenarios. Like I've had limit orders get skipped before. So a take profit scenario where you're too accurate, a limit order can kind of hurt you. But you know, if you're playing something like, say for example, if you're playing this, you just want to make sure you're out of the trade. Like if you're taking 20% on like 100x 2500 and you're talking about 50 grand, you just want to make sure like the market order is like going to get filled. And again, it depends on the extremity of the level that you're playing. So market limit, I think, is like you always want to save fees, right? Like that's not the question. It's always to save fees for sure. But sometimes those orders on extreme levels, they don't get hit. Alt pumping when BTC dumping should be a huge spike in BTC dom. I don't look at BTC dominance chart, dude. That thing is so useless. BTCD is garbage. That's probably because it's in an accumulation cycle, Tom. Again, show me, we do this every day, almost every day. Show me an area, tell me a coin where something has moved up with Bitcoin moving down. It doesn't exist. Maybe the odd like anomaly, but something probably stabilizes. Like Bitcoin probably hit a level and stabilized. Like that's what happened this whole entire. It's like I like this is something that gets asked almost every day. So we talk about this like every single day. Audio, that's the one with A. Audio, that somebody said something with A and I couldn't find it in chat. Audio. What do I think of audio? Not much. Stay away. Too early in its inception to if it pumps, like great. If you're investing in it for other purposes, great, but I wouldn't take the trade. Thanks for the lessons. Now everything you taught is falling into place. That's awesome, man. That's awesome legacy. Forex. There was 2 Forex pairings that I wanted to take a look at. I'm quickly going to switch over to Forex here and bring up my pairings list. And I want to follow up on USD/JPY. So this did break its trend. Oh man, and it back tested it so perfectly too. Yeah, JPY is looking like it might move up unless it fails the larger time frames, which is definitely possible. But oh man, we were looking to pick up JPY just a little lower. We couldn't have because our accounting is still not set up, but we were really hoping that JPY was going to fall and not break this trend yet. But it looks like it's might be having its move up. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this kind of fails its move on the larger time frames. We haven't seen it on the daily yet, and then you would really kind of want to close out on the weekly, but this is the start of what could be a move on JPY, right? USD/JPY. God damn it. We're really hoping that it pulls back to our level, and it still might, but it's obviously not looking great. Again, there's no trade to take here. You're buying down here, not through the trend break. If it moons, oh well, you misidentified the move. Move on. USD/CNY. Oh, we're coming to target. Oh my god, I need my accounting set up. Well, this is coming very close to its move. Oh my god, I need my accounting set up. This is like killing me on the inside. Right. This is a bit of a wonky chart to trade. I don't know if I'd be taking this trade on trend. Actually, you know what? I'd like to see it test the lower range. I would even like to see it test right here. Like right here. We get to change this to 02 now. Yen is coming really close to its trend though. Chinese yen. And the Swiss franc. CHF, Swiss franc? Yep. I don't know if I'd be overly excited to take this level either, looking at this chart. I think it needs to test down a little lower, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, I think you'd actually be looking much lower. Swiss franc, I don't think I would take a risk on this either. But man, that's a little heartbreaking on the Japanese yen that it's not going to come down a bit more. There's just no point. I killed JFK, RFK, MLK. Nice name. There's no point. You can make like 30K a day on Bitcoin. There's no point. You can make more than that. You can make less than that. You can make more than that. There's just no point. What else did we have to mark for follow-up? We had some stuff in commodities. We had RB1. Okay. RB1 still approaching target. All right. We had ZS1, silver, soybeans. Let's check silver too. This has broken over first target and is reaching for second target. So we're still waiting on this. That's fine. This is like happened way in the past here. This is just something we needed to mark. What else did we have marked for follow-up? Silver. Not reaching target yet. CT1 cotton. Oops, that's not the right CT1. Not futures. Nothing there yet. AHC aluminum. It's not this, I don't think. No. Is it ACH? That's what I screwed it up. ACH aluminum. I want to see that drop the target. Steel. Follow up on these things. Yeah, okay, good. Steel is still doing its own thing. Iron. The London Stock Exchange. Okay. Easy, simple, quick, done. Audio trader, just do what I call an accuracy check first. I killed JFK. Do an accuracy check, which is making sure that you're going to be profitable long term. So just trade with like $1 or whatever the smallest amount you can trade with is, and depending on your exchange, and make sure your accuracy is good. I've done American Airlines on Stream Pickles. I can bring it up. What is it? AAL? Yeah, I've done this on stream before. Let's take the extended hours off. What are we on, a 15-minute chart? Yikes. Yeah, I done American Airlines. I'm waiting until it comes down to here to have a buy. We can add American Airlines to the list, actually. You know what? We're going to add AA. This is the pickle special, and I'm putting AA pickle special. AL. I'm actually putting pickle special in my notes. Yeah, do what's called an accuracy check first. I killed JFK before you, yeah. But before you start putting money into the market, there's a lifetime to, there's a lifetime to get involved in this stuff. BlackBerry had a rejection. I mean, it broke trend, right? This is already dating back. The trade is gone. This is why we're not talking about BlackBerry, because the trade's already gone. Like it simply broke trend, and now the trade is gone. This is not anything that's it broke trend. Trade's gone. There's nothing to be done here with BlackBerry. The trade's over. Look for something else, or wait till it gets down to a level that's worth buying. I want to put my avatar on the side of American Airlines planes, and if it pumps, Wall Street pickles. Yeah. I wouldn't hold anything long term, Michael. That's more of like an investing standpoint. I can't advise on what you should or shouldn't invest in. Like, what are my thoughts on you holding long term Bitcoin? I think it's a terrible idea because I just think it's investing. I'm a day trader, not an investor. So if you think that Bitcoin has some kind of intrinsic value to offer the world long term, and you really think it's going to go up, I guess then you have to make a choice if you think it's smart to put your money into Bitcoin. I don't see things in such a linear fashion to say where it's like, oh, should you invest or not? I could never possibly answer that. Maybe it might be a good idea. I'm not sure. I don't know your kind of goals and stuff like that, right? But what I can say is that if you're investing, it should be because you believe something has like a long-term intrinsic value, because that's not day trading, right? As day traders, we just simply wake up, make our money every day, and that's it. We don't care what happens to anything. Bitcoin could go to $5 for all I care. It could go to $1 million for all I care. It wouldn't matter to me either way. It could you know, it could swing up and down like a freaking pendulum, go to $1 million today, $5 tomorrow, back up to $1 million. Might be sad that I missed a few trades, but really at the end of the day, I wouldn't care. I would just be like, oh, cool. It's at $5. Okay, how do we make money on it? Oh, it's at $1 million. How do we make money on it? That's like the difference, right? So I don't think you can look at things like, should I hold my money? If you want to be a day trader, then the answer is no. Don't hold it in anything but dollars. If you want to be an investor, though, because you believe it has some kind of value, you think that it has value to offer the world, then I think that's something a little different outside the scope of day trading, right? So yeah, the difference between investing and day trading, whatever you're comfortable with, man. XRP. I'll quickly bring it up. I don't want to talk about it though. I talk about XRP like way too often. I will do General Electric though. I think that's a great one. Yeah, we already talked about XRP. We already talked about this the other day when we said it would pump back here in the stream. We talked about how it was going to pump when it was in and around this range. So, and then it did. So there's nothing to really talk about with XRP. We already did this one before it pumped. I don't think they're realistic, these 100K to 200K predictions of BTC. Bitcoin may hit that price, but I don't think it's realistic for it to stay there. Random question, just joined the stream, but did you trade Doge? I didn't trade Doge, no. I only trade Bitcoin, man. There's no point to trade anything else. Like with Bitcoin, you can just make, like I've said this so many times, you can just make like 30 grand a day if you just trade Bitcoin. So I just don't really see the value in trading other things when all you're doing is assuming the risk of what Bitcoin's doing anyways. Like Doge pumped because Bitcoin pumped, right? So Doge has been, Doge just like, yeah, it simply just pumped because Bitcoin created a range and it was about to break trend after Bitcoin created a range. So if you had looked at Doge at that moment and if you thought it was a good trade, you would have caught the whole thing. I didn't, because I just trade Bitcoin. With that said, trading these altcoins is just more risk than Bitcoin. So like, why take the risk, right? Because Doge is such a hot topic, we're going to go back and show where Doge broke out. Let's go. For all you who have seen this before, I apologize right now, but you can just suck at what we do. I'm just kidding. Yeah, Doge is such a hot topic right now, right? Like, this is like quite simple on Doge. Like, actually, if you, where is it? What was this date? January 27th. Okay. Yeah, so like maybe we might need a bigger time frame here, but like, okay, maybe not, I guess. I'm trying to line them up so that the time frames, you can see like kind of the whole story, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing. Okay, go back to January 27th, right? Okay, go back to here. Like you can see Bitcoin right here test the bottom of its first range. So you can see on the right side, Doge is also testing the bottom of its range, right? When Bitcoin ladders here, the point of this move is that if Bitcoin is testing, we'll make this so big, fat, and sexy that nobody's going to miss it. It's going to be big, it's going to be red, and it's going to be in charge of the world. Okay, like this is the level. It's look how stark that is on the screen. Okay, Bitcoin has its pullback. Doge has its pullback, right? You need to stay above this line. Like I'm going to make this about as ABC as I can. You need to stay above this line because then you're creating a trend and a ladder. Okay. So then if you stay above this line, you can create a trend for the future, meaning ta-da, Bitcoin can move up and it can have its moves. So like the key thing here is like Bitcoin stays above this because it's technically in an accumulation inside of whatever zone it's in. Like it's an interior zone of the move. It's laddering up. This moment right here where Bitcoin tests the bottom confirms that Bitcoin can move up. If you look at your right side of the chart down here, that's the same moment. So when Bitcoin confirms its move, Doge is now holding and it's free to move. It simply just broke its trend after that, right? Just like Bitcoin. This is why you don't trade altcoins, because you simply just break a trend, probably the very same trend you broke on Bitcoin, because if one chart is the same, it's going to be the same on all these charts, right? Probably the same exact trend, right? I would even challenge this one candle right here. You break above this trend right here, this one candle, what's on the right side of the screen? That's the one. Bang right on the money. It breaks trend with Doge. It can move up. Doge can fly. So there's no point in trading altcoins because all you have to chart Bitcoin anyways. there's no point in trading altcoins, because if you have to chart Bitcoin anyways, how much money could you have made here on Bitcoin by seeing this bottom to the top on Bitcoin? This is $78,000 of profits this move. So in from whatever time this is, by buying the ladder, and we had this level marked out, by the way. People took this trade on stream. This level here, we marked it out in the moment. People took this trade. This was something that we had put on our chart for a 100x contract before it got hit. So there's people in this chat who took the trade, hence all the cool donations that we get. Why would you trade Doge? Why would you not just 100x this on Bitcoin? Because that's like 80 grand. 80 grand you could have made in 2 days. Your whole yearly income is paid in 2 days. 80,000 US dollars, 2 days. So like the trade on Doge, you're just assuming all the risk anyways on Bitcoin. You're just assuming all the risk, because if Bitcoin breaks down, Doge is breaking down. If Bitcoin creates a range, you would have already set your buy on Bitcoin, and you would have already been setting your buy on Doge. I suppose you could just buy Doge if you like Doge for whatever reason. If you want to do spot trading, you could do spot trading like this. But like, again, then I just ask you the same question, like, why would you do that? Because $2,500, a $2,500 position here, and we marked the level perfectly, and you have an $80,000 profit on a $2,500 position. Now, where you end up selling is up to you. I'm measuring the top and the bottom. Wherever you sell, that's up to you. I think I had my final sell marked up here. There was a first like 4% we took, and then a rebuy and blah blah blah. So that's not what we're talking about. You can manage your own trades. Go get Blueprint for that if you want to know how to do that. But then it's like, why even trade Doge if you have to chart Bitcoin anyway, follow Bitcoin to the T, and then if Bitcoin's failing, then you're going to get punished even harder on Doge, because Doge is going to fall even further than Bitcoin will. And the move up on Doge, I don't know how much money you would have made, but I'm sure you went to, okay, actually, you know what, we can check. Would you have made 80 grand on Doge with $2,500? So what do we say, January 27th? Let's see. Okay, so say you bought here, right? Let's just say you bought here. Would you have made 80 grand on this? No, you would have made 25,000. You would have made 1/3 of the profits. Is that right? Am I right? 25,000? Yeah, 1,000% out of zero. You would have made 1/3 of the profits and taken like an insanely higher amount of risk, even if you caught the top and bottom on both trades. So I just don't see what the point of trading an altcoin here is. Like, what's the point of trading Doge? There's no point. It's all dependent on whether Bitcoin can move up or not anyways. And if it's dependent on whether Bitcoin can move up anyways or not, you're taking the same trade on both charts. Like, altcoins literally, like, to the T. Here's Bitcoin, here's altcoins. They go like this together. They hold hands. Like, they're connected, like at the hip. Why would you take the risk of an altcoin when they get punished harder when Bitcoin dumps and there's very easy ways to exit Bitcoin? Like, why? So this is like when people say like, oh, you should trade altcoins. I say no. I say no, sir. You should not trade altcoins. There is no point. I hope this little example, my little example, helps. I'll check GE in a second. Yeah, so it's just kind of pointless. US 30 is a bubble and is going to bust. I think Bitcoin's a bubble and is going to bust. I don't know what US 30. Isn't that SPX basically? US 30? I think someone asked me that yesterday. $30K? That would have been just with like your standard 100x 2500. Sapphire, after all this time knowing you can't candy, I learned that crypto, stocks, forex, etc. all following the same TA rules, but they have relatively the same behaviors, right? Yep. Crypto stole it from, crypto traders stole it from the stock markets, not the other way around. Stocks have been here forever. I think 30K a day is realistic if you have the knowledge. I would agree with Mike that like that's a very specific example, and I use these numbers to show people the possibilities in day trading, because they, people don't realize that it just can be that easy. But you have to have making the money is the easy part. Getting to that point where you can make the money is the real journey, right? Like once you're there, it's just, the stuff is just kind of rinse, repeat, ABC. It's almost like it's almost like working in a factory, right? Say you get hired as a factory worker, and this is like this is like the factory job you've been waiting for. Okay, like you wanted to be a factory worker all your life. This is the job, but there's a catch. You get the job, and you have to learn their system. So it's like, okay, your job is to put these boxes on that conveyor belt. Okay, wait a second. we have 200 different types of boxes, and they're all about a centimeter off in size. So you have to learn every single box, because one box has to be this way, another box has to be that way, one has to be upside down, one has to be laid flat, one has to be stacked on top of the other one, and those two have to be the right stacking order. Like, to learn all of these things, it will take you like years, right? But once you get there, and once you know how the boxes stack and which way to lay the boxes, it's just like rinse, repeat. It's all the same no matter what. It's like, oh yeah, here's the box, put it on, put it on, put it on. Yeah, done my shift tomorrow, put it on, doesn't matter. So there is like a reality to that. The grind is not in the grind is in like the learning and the education, because once you get it, it's just kind of like I just do this stuff on the fly, and I don't think I'm like really ever wrong. Okay, like, of course I'm wrong. I'm not a freaking deity. I'm wrong. Like, I can be wrong too. It's just I'm really good at my craft, right? So like I'm pretty accurate. So I think that's a really good thing to realize, what Mike is saying as well. A beginner target like $30 per day. I think that's shooting a little low. I think even like beginning day traders can make like $200 to $300 a day. Like, I plan on doing a series about that in the future, about how somebody can never be day trading a day in their life, and they can make like a $200 a day income, which is like a good income. Like, there's nothing wrong with $200 a day. That's an amazing income. What is that like? Going from having no experience in day trading, making $200 a day, and not having to work crazy hours working from your home, that's really good. $200 a day is what, $1,000 a week? That's like $4,000 a month US, which is like $50,000 a year. You know, now Canadian, I'm Canadian. All of a sudden I have a $70,000 income, and I only work a few hours a day. Like, that's pretty freaking great. And I work from home for a few hours a day. That's a pretty good income. And then if I show my wife how to do it, she could do the same thing. All of a sudden we're like a 6-figure household income relatively easily. So like, I think $30 is a little low. I think if you think of something more like $100, $200, and then what happens when you increase your salary to like $300? Because I'll even say like getting to like $500 to $1,000 a day isn't all that tough. But if you're at $200, increasing your income to $400, all of a sudden now you're making $140,000 on your own, and your wife works, does the same thing. Now you guys are making $300K together. Now you can buy some pretty fancy things. Now you can start buying nice cars, nice houses, this and that. What happens when you get to $500 a day, and she's at $300, or she's at $500 and you're at $300? All of a sudden you're making $800 a day, right? Like, so there's levels, I guess, is what I'm trying to explain. There's levels and steps to get there, and ways in which we can there's ways in which you can very easily get there. So I just, everybody should be realistic in what they expect out of these markets, because all your time has to go into educating, right? Like, that's where it's at. Study and work hard. One day you can make that. Yeah, exactly. Because margin trading is forbidden in my religion, so Doge spot would have been better for you. I can't speak too much to the religion aspect, but if you like the spot, then you can still make a lot of money on spot. John says, and you guys got to get his butterfly effect course. Yep, I would agree. Better way to ask in terms of percentage of portfolio. Is on a Doge rant. What set him off? I did a Doge comparison to show where it broke out and why. I didn't get your point. Maybe watch the replay, man. I broke it down pretty thoroughly. I think the replay will be available. It should be up right now if you need to watch it again. Can this holding hands be seen to some extent in stocks and forex? Absolutely. Good morning. Started your beginner's course and having already my eyes open. It's extremely helpful. Thank you. Oh, dude, sweet. A new person in the beginner's course. Right on, dude. That's amazing. I hope you enjoy it. Get through it quick and start hammering out bigger stuff. Where in Canada? West Coast. British Columbia. $200 a day is fairly manageable. Yep. If I made just $200 a day, I could probably quit my day job. More than that, the MA comes into play a bit more. Because then you think you're a genius. Yeah, Mac, that's the problem, because people, they get ahead of themselves. They have a few good trades and then they just kind of start. It's like, okay, well, we did it twice. Frick it. Rudolph, you don't, let's take the neck brace off Rudolph and you can just fly the sled on your own. And then Rudolph just goes and he's like, oh man, I need help, guys. We need to do this as a team. So that's the problem, right? No, my wife does not day trade. Thoughts on ETH pump? No, not really. I'm going to make a series on like how to create an income. I think that would be very helpful to people. Let's talk about February for a bit, guys. I've spent a lot of time on charts. Let's go to GE. Okay, let's quickly go to stocks. I want to check GE. And then we're going to talk about February schedule, because I got a lot of cool stuff coming out this month. Okay, GE, what's going on with GE? Yeah, this is already gone. We've marked this level to look for a pullback to here, and if it pulls back to here, then you can have a buy. GE is a little too high. So last time we checked GE, we already did this. Is it on my list? It must be, right? Yeah, GE. So General Electric, we're just waiting for a pullback. If this thing breaks before that, then so be it. It breaks. Opportunity lost. The buy was already down here. Like that's something you guys got to realize in stocks. Like here's like a really important piece of advice. Like you guys will notice that I chart a lot of things, and I'm just like, yep, no point. Yep, don't care. Yep, no point. It's like something you guys have to get used to doing, guys and girls. You have to get used to doing this and just saying like, oh, this was a smart buy down here. I've missed it. Move on. Move on. Mark the greediest level you can find, and when it hits that, consider setting a buy. But if you see things moving up like this and you're like, oh man, it's about to be the next GME, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? There's so many charts out there. There's so many things you could be trading. This even already broke trend. If you were looking at this thing, it would have been down here before it broke its local trend, right? Like there's so many things to trade out there, you know, or if you're just trading Bitcoin only, just like don't force these things. There's so much money to be made in the markets. Like just because something may be breaking out, don't overpay. Like turn yourself into a salesman. Don't overpay for anything. Like grind that price, negotiate for the best price possible. And if you can't buy it, as much as it sucks, walk away without the 4K TV. You know what I mean? Like just as much as it sucks, there's like a bunch of other stores out there and they're all selling the same TV, and COVID is happening. So they're all desperate for a sale. So just go to the one that's going to give you the best price. Who cares about like integrity? Who cares about the fundamental analysis? Think of integrity. Like you built this great rapport with Michael the salesman, and you have this thing that you owe him where you have to buy every TV from him. That's kind of like how you should think of fundamental analysis. You don't owe anything to him. It's not integrity. Throw it out the window, man. You're trying to save $1 out here. It's hard. So think of charts like that. Like you have to just move on and just go find the next shop that's willing to sell you the same TV for a cheaper price. And then it's like, oh man, but there's an open box sale. And oh man, I could wait 2 weeks until it goes on clearance. In 2 weeks, this may be on clearance, right? Think of stocks like that. This is like a really good piece of advice. Like just if it's already gone, just forget about it. It's just like there's a new model coming out, clearance, open box. There's a million ways to slice this lemon to get the same juice. You got a bunch of different ways you can get the same TV for a cheaper price. Promo codes online, eBay, Amazon, Best Buy. Just like think of it like that. I don't know if that's like really going to be helpful for you guys. I kind of went to a little bit of a weird place there, but I hope that refurbished. There you go. Open box refurb, extended factory warranty because it's past its warranty, new models out. God, you know how cheap that thing would be then? That's like GME stock down at like 1 cent or whatever the hell it was. Sounds like a great series. I like that. I plan to make that, Mike, and then we're going to go into we're going to go back to Bitcoin here, and I'm going to talk about some of the new stuff that's coming out in February because I got a lot of announcements and some stuff I want to run by you guys. Anyways, it's official. We're doing a cat stream. I'm kidding. Should definitely make a series on how to build an income. I plan to. Are you an ESTJ? I have no clue what that is. What is ESTJ? Am I about to Google something I shouldn't? Stream's about to get shut down. What is it? What is an ES? Extroverted, observant, thinking, and judging personality traits. I'm not sure. You tell me. This is the first time I've heard of ESTJ. I was scared to Google it, to be honest with you. This is something from Myers-Briggs. I've never taken a Myers-Briggs. You tell me. It sounds like you know more about it than me, and I'll trust your words on it. On Kijiji. Kijiji is like, yeah, Kijiji is a great place to buy items, guys. Yeah. Give you thanks for the beginner's course. There's a lot of bad material out there, but yours is great. That's so cool, dude. I'm amazed that people are getting so much value out of it. I'm not amazed. I'm thankful, I guess. I'm amazed that what I should have said is I'm amazed that 2 and 3 years later, people are still like just flooding to that beginner's course. MBTI. Yeah, I've never done one of the Myers-Briggs personality tests. I've never done one. Yeah, I'm amazed that people 3 years later are still getting such great value and everybody keeps watching, and that's awesome. Let's talk about content for February. So if you guys bring up the chart, I'm going to type something in chat here. Hopefully I don't butcher the spelling. I have caps locks on because I'm testing to see if this is going to still trigger Nightbot. Looks like Nightbot won't respond unless it's lowercase. Okay. Oh, it did. There we go. I'm going to bring this up. You guys can follow along in the chat. You know what? I'm just gonna bring. You know what? I'm just gonna bring my Photoshop version up. I don't want to open new links here, or just a JPEG. That's fine. I'll just open up a JPEG. Oops, that's not the one. Swear to God, I have a display capture on. There we go. Just going to edit this a little bit, make it. You guys can see my face. So this is uploaded this morning. So this is like all the news right now. New this month, push to 50K subs. Well, you guys can read through that. New series premiere. New series is premiering this month. The channel is going into a lot more of like, I have kind of this grand plan in my head behind scenes that I don't talk about, like this grand plan of how to make this thing grow and how I can do my part to get us to 50K subs and all that, and how I want this channel to be in the future. So part of that was getting January, test it out, stabilize it, make sure people are enjoying the content, and make sure there's no tweaks. Give myself a month to kind of think about how I want this thing to be shaped out. So new series premiere. I'm going to be doing a special Q&A series for the Discord members. So there's going to be another series. Like, think of Trading Life as one series, right? The Trading Life videos are great. Those are going to continue to be released. I love the Trading Life. It's an awesome series. So we're going to have Trading Life. We're going to have a Q&A series. I'm going to be releasing more mental analysis evolved this month. I want mental analysis to be a big focus of this channel, not like the primary focus. It's going to have its own segment, just like technical analysis, morning shows. We're going to be taking trades as soon as my accounting gets set up, stuff like that. Well, I don't know how much of that we're going to be doing, but we are going to be doing some. But obviously there's a balance and everything, right? Like there's mental analysis, there's trading, there's technicals. So I am going to be releasing more mental analysis evolved, and it's something I'm going to continue to develop. So beyond the 8 lessons that are out right now, I think mental analysis is a field that is like huge in day trading. And I think as more traders, think of this as like preventative medicine. I think as more traders start trading and more people get into this field, man, this alignment is triggering me right now. This alignment is really bothering me. I'm pretty nitty when it comes to stuff like that. I think as more people are getting into the field of day trading, because it's blowing up in 2021, and it's becoming like the go-to career for a lot of young people and older people looking to switch careers, or just people in general, men, women, everybody. Like, it's just becoming like a go-to career for people. There's a huge need for mental analysis and day trading. So I'm going to be looking to do some mental analysis collaborations with different people who are have different takes about mental analysis and things like that. So I'm going to be doing not only my own mental analysis evolved series as someone who's done this for a long time, and mental analysis evolved is awesome. I absolutely love that, and I'm going to keep developing it. And then I'm going to be doing some collaborations with some people in the mental analysis field, hopefully. I don't have any of that set up yet, but I would like to anyways in the future. New beginners course as well coming this month. So I'm remastering the beginners course, the advanced course. Those are going to be more condensed information to get people who are newer to the field in it faster, because I want this to be something where there's 10 beginners lessons and they're 10 minutes each. And I think I can compress them into really snappy, great 10-minute sessions. So the idea is that you want to be a day trader, you can learn how to be in one afternoon. Now, you can't be this profitable guru in one afternoon, but you can't get through the beginner's course in one day right now. There's parts of it where it's great because it's long, but it's also very dry because they are so long. Like, you could never, ever, ever sit down and watch beginner's course. It would take you like a week if you really binged it. And you guys got to admit, like, you can watch beginner's course and it's like, oh man, I need to take a break. You could finish a video and you're like, I'm drained, right? This should be something where there's both offered. There's the deep dive, which is there. It's been there for a long time, the OG version, the original, but there should also be a version that if somebody's brand new to day trading, they could in one afternoon watch all 10 videos, binge it, 10-minute intervals, coffee between, break, do a few jumping jacks, take a walk, watch 5 videos in a day. Next day, watch the other 5 videos. You're done beginner's course. You're moved on. You're to the advanced course. And then the advanced course will be the same thing. Now, I don't have any plans to redo Future of Trading. It's not possible because that's the point where day trading starts to become a much deeper layer of technical analysis. But this should be accessible to people who are trying to break into the career. This should be, you want to learn how to make $200 a day, you can do it in one afternoon, kind of thing. Now, not quite, that's a little bit skewed, but just so you guys can understand how I'm thinking of this in terms of like, oh, learn how to day trade in one afternoon. So there's going to be a new beginner's course coming out. It's going to be the same material again, just condensed into 10-minute videos, allows for a much smoother flow for the people getting into it. And again, going back to mental analysis evolves, something people have to be very familiar with and aware of, that mental analysis is a huge part of our field. So that's coming out this month. Again, still daily releases, 5 days a week. Trading Life. So that's one video in the week. So the channel is going to become very dynamic in nature. It's not going to be, so what I don't like about the channel right now is it's just future of trading, future of trading, future of trading, future of trading, Trading Life. And Trading Life is such a shining star to the channel that it overshadows how important future of trading is. Future of Trading is important, but Future of Trading is almost done. Next Wednesday on February the 10th is the last episode of Future of Trading. After that point, it's going to be a different video type for each day, 3 or 4 videos a week. So you're going to have one Trading Life video. So one day is going to be for the Trading Life, which is, you know, how to live the life of a day trader. One day is going to be something like a very advanced lesson, maybe for the first little bit, it'll be beginner's course remastered. So that's going to be specifically technically analysis driven. Another day is going to be mental analysis evolved. Then I'm going to do Q&A sessions. So you guys can kind of see this theme of every single day. It's something different. It's not just a slew of Future of Trading and then one Trading Life, because right now there's like a huge imbalance where people value Trading Life up here and Future of Trading is right at the bottom, and Future of Trading is like, but it had to be that in January because I have to get you guys up to a certain point so that you can follow along day trade, start to build careers, make money, do things like that. So Future of Trading kind of had to just be slammed into your guys' face, and you guys, I had to hit you in the head with a hammer with Future of Trading because I had to get it out, and it's a ton of content. And then Blueprint is going to come out. So when Blueprint comes out, they are going to go back to longer lessons where I don't want to break Blueprint to be released over the course of, God, if I broke Blueprint up the way I did Future of Trading, if I did that, Blueprint would be like 9 months it would take to get out. Blueprint is going to be released full videos. They're going to have a special one day for its own video, possibly 2 a week, but it's going to feel like, wow, this is a huge reward. Like this is, okay, that's a full Blueprint video. I am actually learning a lot, not kind of like being trickle-fed Future of Trading, but I had to do it that way. So it's fine. It was a great way to start. January was like the test month to see how this thing could launch, and it's launched beautifully. I love the way everything is. I love the morning show. We're going to talk about the morning show too. I love the morning show. I love the way the morning show is. We're going to talk about how that's changing a little bit. So this channel is going to be a lot more dynamic in what it has to offer. There's going to be like a mental analysis segment. There's going to be a Q&A segment where it's like a little more of, you know, questions and answers, but my personal take on them is something very different. I don't want to spoil too much about the Q&A, but it's very different. It's not me sitting in front of this camera in my office doing this. This is like the technical analysis content. There's different contents that are going to be here. That sounds weird. Gonna have a Night Shyamalan movie. Anyway, moving on. There's going to be different segments because I want this thing to have a different feel every single day. And then the morning show, something else I'm realizing is that as we are all day trading and people are trying to create careers, we are very isolated as day traders. We are very isolated. And this is something that I know because I live it. This is something that people will start to feel. And another reason why mental analysis evolved is so important going forward. There's going to be days for mind training. There's going to be days for technical analysis training. There's going to be days where it's more of like a Trading Life video where it's the scope that's not quite technical analysis, because this is going to be like a one-stop shop for all day trading, right? Like that's what it's going to be. So then another thing I realize is day traders are extremely isolated. We wake up, we day trade, COVID is here, the world has changed forever. I don't think it's ever going back to the way it used to be. We may get pieces back of our past that we love so much, like summertime at the beach. Sure, that's going to exist, but like life has changed forever and people have to accept this. This biological threat, the idea of a biological threat has reshaped human history, in my opinion. I don't think we're ever going back to the way things were. With that, and I've lived this a long time because this has been my life for the past 10 years, there's a certain type of isolation that comes with day trading where you kind of just, you wake up, you go in your office, you do your routines, all that's great. You do your routines, but there's an isolation factor because you don't have a workplace, but you do, it's in front of your computer. You don't have peers. You don't have anybody to really talk to. And for a lot of us, we wake up, we make money, and that feels good. But then there's a depression around day trading because there's no camaraderie there. So the morning show is also going to have some focus on news, not the kind of news you guys think about, not day trading. I'm talking about world news, where we just, like, think of it as just chatting. We're going to wake up, we're going to do our day trading. It's going to be faster, quicker, smarter, stronger, right? Like the day trading section is going to be more focused. Right now it's very unfocused, but I'm having fun. We're starting this thing up. I'm waiting for corporate accounting. So be it. It is what it is. I can't help that. The morning show is going to turn into like max 1 hour of technical analysis, looking at trades, running through our stuff. Today, how I hammered through my Forex, how I hammered through stocks. That's what I'm going to be doing. And it's just going to be very focused in terms of start the morning, get your trading done. If that's all you want to be here for, peace out. And at the 1 hour mark, see you later, peace out. But then we have to just chat for a bit, and you know what, we're going to just look at news, and we're going to talk about news together. We're just going to see what's happening on CNN around the world. We're just going to talk, because that's what day traders, a piece of day trading that's missed when you work from home. You don't have that camaraderie. You're very lonely. It's very isolated for a lot of us. I don't know how many day traders I know that I've trained where, maybe they don't have a family yet, or they're not married, or they're single, or maybe they do, but their significant other has, a 9 to 5, or there's a ton of isolation in day trading because we literally sit in front of our office, we make our money, and then that's it. And then we kind of don't really have anything else to do. So that there has to be kind of that connection to the world, right? So there's going to be day trading, and then there's going to be a segment for just chatting, and we're just going to check out news, chatting, stuff like that, because I think that does solve another day trading problem, which is like there's no camaraderie, there's no community, there's nothing there. It's just make your money and walk away. But there's isolation there, which is like a real problem. It will eat you alive over time. Nightbot's grumpy. Nightbot's always grumpy. So February is really like, let's expand this thing out month. So February is all about expanding it. February is all about taking this thing and just pulling it as far left and right as we can. See if we can rip this blanket. I don't know. I'm not sure, Mayor. I think you may join the Discord today. Do it, dude. Even if it's a $25 tier, it's like great. We've got an amazing community. We're building this thing very fast. It's like, yeah. So that's kind of like the rundown of like February and how this thing is changing and where it's evolving to. Bro, you're the effing goat. Thanks, man. Don't spoil the new traders. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, right, Mayor? Like, don't spoil the new traders. You've watched it a lot. You're probably doing pretty well now, though. You're already making money based on my sign. Squeezy, man, that's awesome, dude. You will release Blueprint fast like that so you can get to releasing Butterfly Effect faster. Nice try, John. We can wait to help you pump this channel to 50K. I mean, I'm doing my part. I am pushing this thing as hard as I can. Like, I will get us to 50K. When I put my mind to something, I get it done. You just joined on Patreon. Dude, that's so sweet. Cotton, you're the best. Hey, Cotton, been a while. Not feeling good. Oh, man. Hopefully you're feeling a bit better. I know when I had my earache, I was like not really feeling myself. So hopefully you're better, Adeji. You'll try to donate when you make enough money. That's awesome, man. I'm doing great. You guys are on it about ETH, eh? I'll quickly take a look. I'll talk about all the new exciting stuff. Everybody just cares about ETH. I'm sure it's just like... I love it when people say like, oh man, this thing's pumping like crazy. And then I go and it's like, it's moved $5. It's like, whoa. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's moving up, it'll move up, right? Nothing to say. There's no trade that exists there anyways. So this one wasn't bad. This one is actually okay, a decent little thing. Sometimes it'll be like this. Sometimes it'll be like this. It'll be right here, and then chat will blow up, and everybody. Okay, this is like This is what happens. Like I just checked ETH. Like, okay, we just checked ETH half an hour ago, and people are like, oh man, it's just dumped. It's gone. ETH is gone. It's tanked. Bye. Hope you liquidated. See ya. Account holder's gone. And then like I'll check in. And I'll be like, okay, had like a $20 pullback. All right, and then we'll be chilling. Everything's fine in the chat. We get through like half an hour, and then it's like that candle right there, and people are like, ETH's gone. That's it. It happened. We're in this. It's gone. See you later. Train left the station. It's like, why you open up corporate accounts? Because it's smart. Better for tax reasons than sole proprietor. Because I do this for a living. Do I hold physical gold or silver? No. Just dollars, dude. Just raw currency dollars. Like, you mean physical gold, like in my house? I think that's what you mean by like physical gold and silver. Like, do I have bars or grams or whatever? You trying to rob me, bro? Just kidding. The only thing I'll find in my house are broken dreams and tears. I'm kidding. So yeah, February, exciting month. Damn, stream went on a lot longer than I wanted to. I always wanted it to be half an hour stream today so I could go and record. But I'm getting off in a moment here anyways, guys. So anyways, yeah, that's the February update. You guys can see the, I'm going to put it in chat one more time. You can see the list right there. Come on, Nightbot, post it up. Okay, whatever, my Nightbot will post it in good time. So you can see the actual graphic there. It's up on the Patreon page. I'm going to get into the habit of doing that every month. We're going to be getting new kind of like new parameters, new schedule, new everything. Got to go see him. I'm going to. Just thinking if there's any last thing I want to chart. Typically there is, but not really right now. Silver. Let's check how the silver boys are. Let's do it. Let's do it for the homies. GME. GME slow death. AMC for the homies. More slow death. And silver. More death. Well, yeah, I hope too many people, like this whole thing about Wall Street bets, his next target is short squeezing silver. I don't know how many people are losing their shirts on this thing right now because this thing is dumping, but I'm sure there's a lot of people who follow the Wall Street bets, and now the news is like, oh God, I die a little on the inside. I wake up and I check my phone, the news on my phone, because I want to see like local stuff, what's happening, and in the local stories, it's like Reddit's targeting silver. It's next. Get rich. It's like, well, how'd that work out? Not so hype. Okay, guys, I'm off. I will be back tomorrow. Recording day today. So yeah, wish me luck. It's going to be a crazy video I'm releasing. So it's going to be a lot of recording I have to do. So I'm out of here. See you tomorrow. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for the donations, guys. A little bidding war you've had. It felt kind of cool. I've never had something like that before. So that's pretty neat. Thank you so much. And we'll see you all tomorrow.